Hey guys, we're here in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, south part of India, to discuss a new Premier League game week. It's been a really nice holiday, but now back to focus is back to football with Premier League game week 29.
Yes, and it's the last game week before the international break.
Yes, an interesting
Yes.
call Thomas Tuchel will need to make. He will not be able to, however, base them off this game week. Let's begin with the first game, Everton against West Ham United at Goodison Park. Everton are unbeaten now in 7 games. West Ham United are also trying to find their stride. Former club of David Moyes, 2 wins in their last 3 games. Of course, however, they lost to Newcastle last Monday. For me, this will be a draw. I think Everton are now trying to run out of that magic with David Moyes started with. They drew to Wolves also last weekend. I think it'll be 1-1 and better to score.
Yeah, for me also it gives all the vibes of a draw game, but both the teams will score twice. Bowen will score for West Ham United 2-2. It will be a draw.
Okay, next up it's Ipswich against Nottingham Forest now. Ipswich are on a very poor run of form, no wins in the last 9 games, and that has been added up to by another loss, this time to Crystal Palace 1-0. There were signs of improvement, but that's not enough to stay in the Premier League. You need to be putting up more consistent performances, and Ipswich just aren't able to do that. Nottingham Forest, massive victory against Manchester City last weekend, pushing their hope for a top 4 because they were trying to lose some ground. This was a major 3 points. For me, another major 3 points will beckon for Nottingham Forest. 1-0, Morgan Gibbs-White to score.
Yeah, this game is very important for both these teams. Ipswich, if they have any chance, if they want to survive Premier League football, want to be in Premier League next year, they have to win this game. It's time, it's a clutch time. They have to improve, they have to move on. At the same time, Nottingham Forest has to win this game if they want any sort of European football next year.
These are the kind of games they need to win.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are on their way, and I think they will win this one 3-0. Ipswich to lose again. Nottingham Forest march keeps on going, and this time Wood to score 3-0 Nottingham Forest.
Okay, next up it's Southampton against Wolves. A month back or so, this would have been a relegation tussle, but Wolves are trying to move away from that area. Southampton have only 1 home win all season. You don't see that changing right now. Wolves, however, 2 losses in the last 5. One of those was to league leaders Liverpool. So insane improvement there from Vitor Pereira's side. And Wolves, you see them probably being safe, and the 3 promoted sides becoming relegated should they not win this one. Should they win this one and Southampton not win, of course, I think this will be a victory for Wolves. No problems. 2-0 Ait Nouri to score, because I just feel they have a lack in the attacking department, so it will be the defender who will make the difference.
Yeah, I also agree with you here. Wolves will win because Wolves in the last few games have improved a lot. Not only the results, but the way they are playing, approaching. I think the new gaffer has turned them around. They are believing in him. For me also, without Kuna, you cannot really find a scorer in that team. For me, it will be a midfielder, Joe Gomes to score for them. 2-0, it will be a victory for Wolves. Southampton, about to be relegated.
Let's continue the predictions next to the beach with a big one. Could have been match of the week easily. Manchester City against Brighton, 2 of the contenders for Champions League football. Both teams have had a massive change in fortunes last weekend. Manchester City losing to Nottingham Forest 1-0 thanks to the late Callum Hudson-Odoi goal. Brighton, however, they can't stop winning right now. Incredible form, 6 wins in the last 8 games, and that has been followed up by a late winner from João Pedro to help them secure 3 points against Fulham. For me, this will be a really good game. Home advantage will definitely help City at the Etihad Stadium. I think it will be a draw here, 2-2, and we'll have João Pedro to score.
Yeah, I don't agree here. Now is the time when season is at stake for Manchester City. If they could not get to Champions League, it will be a disaster for them this year. So now it's last 10 games. They have to be in it. They have to prove that they belong there with the new players and all. So they are going to do it. Now, I think because the way Brighton plays, because Nottingham Forest was a defensive team and they could handle Man City for a long time and then nick a winner just like they did against Liverpool. But against Brighton, it is it is not going to be the game. Brighton will come to Man City. Man City will find spaces and they will go for jugular here. 4-1 victory for Manchester City, where Haaland could score 1 or 2 goals.
Okay, that's a big call. Next up, it's a battle between two sides who are edging towards mid-table. Bournemouth against Brentford. Bournemouth were looking like a Champions League contender, but in the last 5 games, only 1 victory. That needs to change, as well as throwing away a 2-goal lead at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last weekend. Poor game management from Andoni Areola's side, and I think they won't secure all 3 points here either, although it's at the Vitality Stadium. Brentford don't really have much to play for. It will be a really tough call for them to even secure Conference League spots. 1-1, Kluivert to score, and Bournemouth drop more points.
Yeah, for me, last week, Bournemouth should have won that game easily by the margin of 3 or 4 goals, but somehow they drew it. Tottenham to score 2 late goals to draw the game, get a point from there, but Bournemouth lost it. For me, Bournemouth should have won that, but they cannot do the same thing against Brentford here. They have to win this if they have any ambition for any kind of European football, not let alone Champions League. If they are ambitious enough, they will win this game. That's how I see them. Areola, ambitious manager. Bournemouth, a forward-looking team. They will win this one 3-0. And Ivanilson, the forward, he will score. He is scoring in last few games, and he will score again. 3-0 victory for Bournemouth. Their march towards European football moves on.
Okay, now it's a London derby. Fulham against Tottenham. 2 teams who dropped points last week. Fulham losing momentum all of a sudden after this loss to Brighton. It will look difficult for them to secure European spots. Tottenham, however, are on the rise. Only 1 defeat in the last 4 games, including victories against Brentford and Ipswich. For me, I think Fulham will nick this one because they like the London derbies. They really win when it really matters. And if they don't win, you don't see them getting European positions. It's as simple as that. They've only got 42 points right now. I think this will be a 2-1 victory for Fulham. Tottenham, it's almost next to impossible for them to gain anything this season, and Iwobi will score.
Yeah, for Tottenham, it was a tough night yesterday when they, although they came from behind, won the game. They are now in quarter-final of the Europa League. I think they will put everything in the Europa League campaign now, and their Premier League campaign will just keep on going as it is going. That's what I think. They are tired. They played on Thursday. Fulham, well rested, forward-looking team, attacking team, will go for Tottenham. Tottenham will try to play their game, leave spaces behind, and there will be a victory for Fulham. Forward-looking Fulham will beat Tottenham 2-0. Adama Traore to score for me.
To continue the calls now in the shade of a heart. Leicester City against Man United. Now this is the 3rd time this has occurred this season, and each of those 3 times Ruud van Nistelrooy has been involved twice. Now as a Manchester United gaffer, his first and his last game for the club, and now for Leicester City at home they'll be hosting Manchester United. It will definitely be a tough game for Ruud van Nistelrooy's side after that defeat to Chelsea, which they were hard fought. They tried their best, but eventually that Marco Correa goal was the difference. I think Man United now look to be turning a corner, although that has happened numerous times this season. So we think, that 4-1 victory against Sociedad really helps their hopes, as well as the new Old Trafford $2.5 billion project. So I think Man United will win this one 3-1. Fernandes will score, and the positivity around the club, it will continue.
Yes, their victory in the Europa League will help them, will have more confidence. Leicester City, on the contrary, are having no confidence at all. I don't know where the goals will come from, and they are not really, and they are really looking like a relegation destined team here, and I don't know. I can't see anything here other than Manchester United win, although Manchester United also is not in the good form this season, but still they have enough to beat Leicester City. For me, it will be a victory for Manchester United 3-1. Joshua Zirkzee should score.
Okay, now it's time for the match of the week. London derby, West London against North London. One of the most famous rivalries in English football. Arsenal against Chelsea. This time it's Mikel Arteta against Enzo Maresca. Only 2nd time this has happened. The previous one was the reverse fixture, 1-1 draw, goals from Neto and Martinelli. Chelsea beating Leicester City, Man United, Arsenal drawing to Man United. That was never going to be an easy fixture for them, and they could not pick up all 3 points. They're now 15 points adrift from Liverpool. But this is their chance because Liverpool are not playing this weekend. They have the Carabao Cup instead, and can narrow down the gap to 12 points, which you think has to be necessary if they have any chance of staying up. But for me, Chelsea are no poor side. They'll get the draw here. 2-2, Odegaard to score.
Yeah, for me also this will be a good game of the weekend, and both the teams are not really confident at this point of time. Arsenal too far behind Liverpool. I don't see them challenging anymore because they will focus their energy at the Champions League football where they are in the quarter-final. Chelsea very inconsistent throughout the year, and this game will be decided by one stroke of brilliance from any side, which I don't see at the moment. I will go for the draw. It will be a draw, but both teams will score 1-1. And for me, Cole Palmer is going to score for Chelsea. Arsenal losing more ground on Liverpool. Chelsea losing more ground from the Champions League football. Both the teams will lose this weekend in their respective endeavors for the season. That's how it will pan out.
That's it for Premier League Game Week 29. Only 8 fixtures this weekend because of the Carabao Cup final. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for a Carabao Cup final prediction where we're fully backing Liverpool to beat Newcastle. Thank you.